The Angry Pepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about, will we see a third world war break out before the end of this year? Now, clearly, guys, we're going to see a third world war break out. That's without a doubt. Everything is headed in that direction. But will we see this third world war break out before the end of the year? A lot is saying yes. Other countries, guys, are looking to get involved. I think a lot of other countries are going to be forced to get involved. I think that's the bigger issue, if you will, the countries that are going to have their hands forced to get in. I think a lot of countries right now, every country on this planet is watching this very, very closely. And a lot of countries are already deciding whose side they're going to be on. Now, I was watching, I forgot what African nation, I think it was South Africa, matter of fact, they're supporting Palestine. My issue with the support for Palestine is that everybody's behaving as if Palestine is this wounded animal and needs all this help. Palestine let Hamas take over the Gaza Strip. They let them. Now, granted, there was some infighting or whatever it was. Nonetheless, they let them take it over. Palestine is its own country, and people keep saying free Palestine. I'm like, but Palestine is free. They're their own country. They got their own government. They know what's going on. They let a militant and or terrorist group take over. So I don't know what this free Palestine is, being that Palestinians can leave whenever they want. People are like, it's an open-air prison. Hence all the Palestinians all over the world. Whatever. Nonetheless, guys, we are watching other countries side with Palestine, and we're watching other countries side with Israel. Now, granted, there are countries calling out Israel and their bullshit and the things that they're doing, like using the white phosphorus bombs or whatever it was, and then the treatment of the Palestinian people by shutting off power, water, and limiting food supply. So people are calling out Israel, but they're still going to side with Israel if they absolutely have to. Now, we are coming to that road, the crossroads of pick a side. And people even here are going to be forced to some point to pick a side. Granted, I'm not, because one, I work for the city, so they're never going to tell us to do that. And two, I'm my own fucking person, and I'm looking at what's going on, and I'm like, I'm just not happy with siding with either side that can't grow up enough to make a decision on peace. It's an easy solution, guys. Peace is a very easy solution. It's not hard. It's not complex. It's not complicated. Anybody that tells you it's complex or complicated are the same people who are rooting for this war to make more money. Because we watched the stock market, guys, which was supposed to take a dip when this was set off, didn't. It went up, went in the opposite direction. But yet with the Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine bullshit, the market took a nice dip for 2 days, or if I'm not mistaken, a couple days after that invasion. This is the most divisive war in the world, and the market went up and not down. So there's a lot to be said about what's going on, or what's really going on, and why this war was set off early, and why this war was let to happen. Because again, guys, with Israel and all of their technology and their surveillance and them being one of the best, or having the best intelligence agency in the world, I find it interesting that they missed all of this bullshit. It was set off on purpose, and no one is going to convince me otherwise. Because if you know anything about Israel and their counterintelligence agency and their intelligence agency and the technology they have involving intelligence, there's no way they should have missed this. Zero. There's no way that the United States missed it. A lot of agencies missed this, and a lot of agencies from around the world missed this, and no one gave a heads up. I mean, if Russia really wanted peace, how come their counterintelligence agency didn't pick this up? How come the French agency didn't pick this up? Or the English? Nobody picked this up. This was made to happen. But again, if you can convince me that it was a catastrophic failure on the Israeli part, what about the other fucking countries around the world that have intelligence agencies that didn't pick this up? Again, this is let to happen to either A, usher in a new one world government, or B, just make fucking more money. Again, back to the sole purpose of this video. Will we watch a third world war pop off before the end of the year? Again, I think so. In the next coming days, not even weeks, days, we're going to watch decisions being made. I think Syria is already itching to get in. Not even itching, they want to get in. Iran said that they wouldn't get involved, but that can change from hour to hour, day to day. Egypt is trying to stay out of this, but it looks like their hand is going to be forced to get in this as well. You have Hamas and Hezbollah leaders calling Muslim nations to get involved, and the people of the Islamic people, to get involved as well. So people's hands are going to be forced. Now, this global day of jihad, I have to mention that nothing really happened other than that stabbing in France. And I think the stabbing in Beijing, China, Beijing, might have been connected to that as well. But the one in France definitely was. And with that, the French have already authorized their military to bigger presence in France. So now the French government authorized the military to have bigger presence in France. I find that interesting, guys, because then what comes next? Martial law. Just saying, be careful of the bullshit that we're pushing and we're seeing, because this seemingly is going to connect to this one world government shit. Now, it's happening at a slower pace. A lot of people think that the Third World War was going to spark off nukes right out of the gates and we'd be in this Mad Max scenario. No. This is going to be a long, drawn-out Third World War. We're not going to see nukes being used initially. We probably will at some point, again, once the Third World War kicks off. Now, I'm assuming by probably next month, if not in a couple of weeks, we're going to see other countries step in. And I think you only need one or two more countries to step in to be considered a Third World War. And again, Syria and Iran, they look like Syria is looking like they want to get involved. Iran said they did not, but they look like they definitely want to get involved. Lebanon is getting involved regardless. Saudi Arabia, they're already fucking talking about, they're already wagging their finger at Israel and the United States, so they look like they want to get in. Russia is making comments when they should be shutting the fuck up and worried about Ukraine. And the Chinese, they're trying to play both sides right now. So again, it's just the next couple of weeks, if not a couple of months, before this sparks off into a Third World War. Now, will we see an all-out nuclear event? That's the bigger question, because we've always in the prepper community talked about this. I feel like a lot of the people that are involved are not going to want to push that button, with the exception of that idiot from Israel, the one lawmaker or politician who was like, we need to wipe Gaza Strip off the map. You're right next door to the Gaza. Why would you even think about launching a nuke and you're right next? That would be like New York nuking New Jersey. They're right fucking there, man. We could touch them. Like, why would you want to even offer that or put that on the fucking table? Nonetheless, I haven't heard any other politicians echo that stupid ideology. Now, Iran gave a very weird warning to Israel, stating that they're warning Israel about backing down. If they don't, there'll be some huge earthquake. And I'm like, a huge earthquake, is that a nuclear threat? Or do they have access to a weapon that can cause a nuclear quake? I didn't know which way to take that. Or it'd be such a massive involvement of the Muslim community that the world will feel it. The way that threat came across, I was like, Iran, it was an Iran foreign ministry. So it wasn't so much the president himself or prime minister, or whoever it is in Iran. It was a foreign minister guy. So again, Iran looks like they want to get involved, but they said they weren't, so who the fuck knows? Now, I told you about Russia wanting to get involved because they're making comments. To be fair, Vladimir Putin does want Israel and Palestine, or rather Hamas, to come to a peaceful solution, and he wants an immediate ceasefire. I don't know who the fuck he is to demand that. Nonetheless, he gave a plan to the UN, who he hates, by the way. Who he hates. He gave a plan to the UN to come up with a peaceful solution. I did find that interesting. So again, guys, I mean, even though he's chirping a little too much for somebody who, wants world peace, it seems like he wants to get in. Now, keep in mind, Syria and Russia get involved. I mean, Syria and Iran get involved. Russia's backing that play. He's backing those people. Those are his people, if you will. So, regardless, guys, we're definitely going to see a third world war. Shit's definitely going to get out of hand, but it's not going to unfold like we see in movies. in movies, it's like the Third World War broke out and the world cracked in two. No. This is going to be so fucking long and drawn out. I think a lot of us are going to be tired and not pay any attention to it. And once we stop paying attention to that war, some new outbreak is going to come up. It's just, it's almost like a game plan that they set in motion anytime they're controlling divisive issues don't take hold of the people. They break out some new shit, you know? The fucking wiggly dick disease is going to start fucking making its way around the world. Who the fuck knows? Nonetheless, guys, this just doesn't feel right. This feels like a setup. Like the stage is being set for something else. I don't know anymore. But all I know is that this is getting old. These constant and increasing live streams and videos is because we're trying to keep people updated to this. Now, I am going to do a couple of videos on Stop Bleed because shit's getting out of hand and because I think we're going to see more lone wolfish kind of attacks here in this country. France saw one. Like I said before, Beijing, I think they saw one. We're going to see more of these because people are going to be more agitated, easily agitated, and some stupid, lonely Muslim guy that doesn't have any fucking friends because even his friends from the Muslim world don't like him, he's going to go set some shit off. So we still need to be ready regardless whether or not the Jihad Day is a real thing or not, which seemingly it's not. But this could be the call for jihad, guys, is not a one-day event. This could be for the duration of this war. So you need to be ready while this is going on. It wasn't for you just to be ready for Friday or Saturday or this weekend for that matter. It was for you to be ready for the duration of this war. And while this is going on, we should be strapped and have our medical kits on the ready. And we should have our preps on the ready. And we should be at medium alert. Not high alert, not low, medium. Stay in the middle. Let's just play this out and see where the fuck this goes. Other than that, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.